Some books tell the history of watch brands. Some books look beautiful on a coffee table. And then there are rare few that feel like objects of art themselves, books that frame timepieces not as just tools, but as expressions of culture, craft, and creativity. Vacheron Constantin, The Time is Art book is exactly that. A giant, visually stunning celebration of world's oldest continuously operating watchmaker, capturing 270 years of artistic, technical, and cultural evolution in horology. This is not a simple brand history book. It's a collaborative publication between Vacheron Constantin and global art publisher Thames and Hudson, marking the Maison's 270th anniversary. The book spans 280 pages in a large square format with more than 200 specially commissioned color illustrations and photographs, treating these watches as artworks as much as machines, and inviting its readers to appreciate them that way, as pieces of art. Unlike many watch books that focus mainly on technical description, Time is Art puts chronometry and culture side by side, showing how each timepiece reflects not only mechanical innovation, but also artistic sensibility and historical context. This book is presented under the name Vacheron Constantin. That means that this is not a single author's personal narrative. Instead, it's a manufacturer-curated anthology built from insider access to archives, restorations, watch imagery, and Maison's commentary, an official cultural statement as much as a reference text. You could think of it as the Vacheron Constantin canon, the stories the Maison itself believes are worth preserving and showcasing. This affects the tone. The book is celebratory but rigorously curated, balancing pride with precision. The title itself is telling. Time is Art. This book insists that Vacheron Constantin's watches are not just functional objects. They are artistic creations embedded in cultural history. The narrative structure supports this argument. 4 thematic chapters explore the union of high precision, technical expertise with artistic crafts developed over centuries. Each chapter focuses less on years and on models and more on ideas, design evolution, and aesthetic philosophy. The watches are presented not merely as tools of measurement, but as synthesis, pointing where precision meets expression. This important fact reframes reading a watch not as reading time, but as reading culture or as reading art. The book presents 70 distinct timepieces selected for their technical significance and artistic identity, spanning from the late 18th century to the present day. Those 70 works are organized into 4 thematic chapters, as we said, each illuminating a different facet of Vacheron's craftsmanship. Time par excellence is the first chapter, where we see the origins and innovations of the Maison, including early mechanical revelations and the breakthrough innovations that the Maison did over the years, or over centuries. Art on the wrist, where we see the artistry and ornament expertise of the Maison, the interplay of design, decoration, and expression in timepieces. Then comes an insider's universe, where we go beyond the watches that push technical boundaries and into their meaning for collectors and enthusiasts. A world of inspiration is the chapter where we see the Vacheron Constantin's quest of the world. The inspirations it got from different cultures all around the world, and the interpretation of this quest in timepieces for the whole wide globe. This structure helps the book feel less like a catalog of movements and more like a gallery of ideas, each watch a work of art with a distinct voice. The selection is broad, but with purpose. You'll find early caliber masterpieces that speak to foundational technical advances, and then medieval and Renaissance pieces which inspire decorative pieces that show centuries-old artistic influence, grand complications and haute horology, flagships that define mastery, modern masterpieces demonstrating contemporary aesthetics bound to historic lineage. This is not about being rare because few were made. It's rare because what each watch represents is culturally significant. For instance, Vacheron Constantin's long pedigree includes masterpieces like the extraordinary high complicated watches rivaling the most intricate titans in horology, or historically important pocket watches such as the extraordinary caliber 3752, reportedly the most complicated mechanical watch ever made with 63 complications. Including pieces that bridge centuries gives the book a continuum quality. It's not just past and present, but dialectic across time, across 270 years. One of the highest compliments collectors and reviewers give to this volume is about its visual language. The photographs and illustrations in Time is Art was specially commissioned to capture not only the surfaces and finishes of each watch, but how light, shadow, and mood interact with them on the page. This isn't a random coffee table flourishes. It's a deliberate visual argument. Watches are not just objects of utility or tools. They are objects of emotion, objects of meaning. That philosophy carries through every large format spread. Here's the political subcontext that makes this more than a brand story. When a manufacturer publishes a book like this, it's doing cultural diplomacy. It's saying, we are not just a company, we are architects of meaning. The claim that Time is Art is not just clever marketing, it's soft power. It's an attempt to define how culture should value watchmaking and whose history counts in that conversation. Influence here isn't measured by market shares, it's measured by narrative authority, and this book is a manifesto to that position. What sets this book apart, especially for serious collectors, is how it marshals a maison's entire aura into thoughtful themes. Positions watchmaking as a cultural practice, not a mechanical exercise. It connects heritage to design evolution and artistic imagination. It treats watches as vehicles of emotional, cultural, and historical expression. It is as much a text about why we collect as it is about what we collect. Here's the truth that stays with you. Most watch books organize by date and caliber. This book organizes by meaning. It asks, what does it feel like to encounter time not just as measurement, but as expression? And it answers that question by showing how a different watch in a different age expresses a different relationship to life, craft, and identity. That's a rare perspective. So what is Vacheron Constantin Time is Art really? It is part visual anthology, part cultural manifesto, part chronology of craft and meaning. It doesn't just show watches, it tells a story about why watches matter. So let me ask you, what watches in your collection feels like art, not just timekeeping? Does a watch become more meaningful when you understand its cultural context? or just its mechanics? And if time itself is art, how do we wear that philosophy on our wrists? I want to hear from you, so please drop me a comment, send a message, tell me the next book you want to see or hear, because this series is about meaning, not just about mechanics. This is Watches and Politics, so subscribe, share with collectors and thinkers alike, and I'll see you in the next chapter.